bigger for the Vols? Is it David Sanders, who's an offensive tackle, number 1 rated offensive tackle, by the way, in the nation? There's no team that wouldn't take him. He's an anywhere guy using our recruiting ranking. Or flipping an Alabama commit in Jaedon Harmon? So I want to ask you that question, Caleb, because I've got some strong thoughts on it, but I'm sure you do as well. What's bigger, flipping an Alabama commitment or getting one of the top player at one of the top positions in the game?
You know, this is very difficult for me, and I thought about this throughout the weekend, and I went live, for those who didn't see, on Saturday when Tennessee got David Sanders because of how big of a pickup that was.
I think about 50,000 people saw. Great job.
Thank you. I actually think there's a strong. I actually think the flipping Jaedon Harmon from Alabama is bigger. I do. This is guys. Think about this for a minute. Yes, Alabama doesn't have Nick Saban, but Alabama has dominated Tennessee. Hold on, hear me out.
I'm hearing you out.
Alabama has dominated Tennessee on the recruiting trail for the past 15 years. Fair?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I mean, they've dominated them on the field, too. Forget recruiting trail. Tennessee hasn't been anywhere near Alabama's level. Nobody has. They've been the most dominant program in the nation. But on top of that, beyond just that, guys, Alabama may have lost Nick Saban, but they added a head coach who just went to the college football playoff, who in terms of resume and profile is top 2 maybe in the SEC, right? Like it's Kirby Smart, Brian Kelly, and Kalen DeBoer in terms of resume, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So there's that, which should help them recruit better. And also, they've been rolling on the recruiting trail all summer. When you take those things into account, if you really think about it, there's no way Tennessee should be in a position yet to flip an Alabama recruit. So for them to do that, and not just flip one, but flip a really good one, a 4-star elite linebacker, and do it the day after they secure David Sanders, and to get this guy, it's not like he's a Tennessee guy, he's from Georgia. To do that, I got to be honest, is a huge deal. And I can talk a little bit more about this later, but they also beat Alabama for Arian Carter. Jaedon Harmon plays a similar position. Something brewing about Tennessee and the outside linebackers around here?
Yeah, and I think that's because they're able to utilize their rushers in a lot of different ways, and I think that Tennessee has shown with James Pierce that he has the ability to play this hand down or hand up. He can do kind of what he wants to based off his feel, and I think that's a very exciting situation to be in. I believe firmly that it's Sanders, and I'm going to tell you why. First, I want to tell you about our friends at Work Trucks. Work Trucks, they're all about trucks, and they can get trucks that other dealerships can't get, and they can get them absolutely tricked out with the Napide work bodies because time is money. You can't do the go back and forth to your warehouse. You can't do the go back and forth if you're a contractor to get that special tool. They maximize your profits by having the right work truck. Time is money. Work Trucks with an X, LLC.com. Work Trucks with an X, LLC.com. The perfect work vehicle doesn't break down and has all the space to carry what you need. Contracting is about time. Work Trucks saves you time with less back and forth trips and trucks that pass the highest standards to put you to work. If you're a contractor, you got to know Work Trucks. They do cranes and dump trucks as well. Work Trucks. Work Trucks carries the trucks that your business has to have. You need Work Trucks. Clinton Highway in Knoxville, downtown Birmingham for the entire inventory. Go online to worktrucksllc.com, worktrucksllc.com with an X. Why risk chancing your future in business on a wrong piece of equipment that burns time? Worktrucksllc.com, proud supporters of the Tennessee Vols. It's Sanders, and here's why. Because Kalen DeBoer is the head coach at Alabama, and it's not Nick Saban anymore. And Tennessee getting Sanders beat every other team in the country. They essentially beat Kalen DeBoer for an Alabama flip. If you beat Nick Saban, okay, that's a different story. And I'm probably on base with you. I tell you what, if I'm a Tennessee fan, I'm looking at this flip more than which is bigger for me. And I'm thinking, is this one of the first guys that's going to bolt from Alabama's program. I don't want to get sidetracked, but I don't believe flipping an Alabama prospect because Saban's not there is nearly tantamount to climbing Mount Everest, which it used to be, Caleb.
Yeah, but Dave, I think you're short selling. We have questions about Kalen DeBoer, and I'm sure Alabama's going to miss Nick Saban. But let's be honest. Alabama's still, as of right now, a top-tier program. Top 3 nationally, right? You would say, like, just right now, even if you go to decline, they're a top 3 value program in terms of ability and talent, right?
Agreed.
Kalen DeBoer probably is in the top 6 of coaches nationally on resume right now.
But I do, okay, and I thought you would go there. And I agree. But he's not on the top 5, 6, 10, in my opinion, of coaches in recruiting. That to me is a different metric.
But Alabama's got the number 2 class for next year. They're recruiting on a tear right now with Kalen DeBoer. That's why.
Okay, but who set that up? And let's see what they do this fall. Let's see in that early signing day in December if all those guys stick. I mean, they just lost a guy. They could lose more.
Look, I'm going to say, and look, I'm very high on David Sanders, guys. I said he's the biggest recruit since Eric Berry. The only one who comes close, and this is the point I want to make, and stay with me here. The other one who comes close is Darnell Wright. Dave, when did Darnell Wright commit?
What year or what month of the cycle?
What year? Remember?
No. Go ahead.
It was 2019 when Tennessee was coming off a 5-7 season with Jeremy Pruitt at the helm. Okay. They still landed Darnell Wright. They were able to get these type of guys or close to it. Not on Sanders level, but close to it when they were in the height of the decade of dysfunction.
Okay.
They never flipped Alabama.
I'm not accusing Darnell Wright of taking money, but there was money flowing around. And the simple fact is a lot of ball guys that didn't like the periphery of it did like Jeremy Pruitt. A lot of ball guys still do. Jeremy Banks cost Tennessee a shot at the national championship, partly because I think he loved Pruitt more than he liked Heupel. He was like the only guy on the team. So,
yes, but Darnell.
Go ahead.
I get what you're saying, but like the point is they could still land these guys. I don't think Jeremy Pruitt ever flipped a Nick Saban commitment. You guys will have to go back and check me on this, but I don't remember ever Tennessee flipping an Alabama commitment. And at this moment, Alabama is still on a tier above Tennessee in terms of attractiveness. They were better last year. They have largely been better. I mean, they finished ranked higher in the polls every year dating back to 2007. And they have a coach who has a better resume than Josh Heupel right now. There's as of right now, would you at least agree Alabama has a lot more to sell than Tennessee as of right now?
No.
See, I think they do. Now, that doesn't mean...
No. Okay, and let me tell you why. Because I see where you're going. Okay, because I think Heupel's an up-and-comer. So to me, that's exciting. To some kids, that's exciting to be a part of, more than an established program. So I think they're a wash there. Kalen DeBoer's a more established coach than Heupel. I will give you that. Facilities, they're all the same, right? Playing time, you probably have to sit a little longer at Alabama, although I think that's about to change. So what advantage in recruiting does Alabama have over Tennessee now that Nick Saban's not there? I mean, I want to break this down more, but I'll look at the classes, and if you want to say top-end talent, I'll give you that because Alabama has 5 5-star commitments and Tennessee has 1. So they are still beating Tennessee, even though it's 2 and 6 in the rankings. But what do they have to sell over Tennessee that Tennessee doesn't have?
I think Alabama has, believe it or not, as of right now, you and I know this is not true because we know the inner workings of Tennessee, but they have up-and-comer to sell more than Tennessee does. Because I'm just going to tell you what the narrative is out on Tennessee right now, and you know people are recruiting against this. Dave, Tennessee went 11-2 in 2022. They went 9-4 in 2023. You and I both know that in the college football ranks, there's a belief that Josh Heupel's offense has been figured out and he's going to go stale and that he's hit his peak.
Okay, and by the way, Jimmy Himes has a fantastic article about coaches that are sharing some inside information about Josh Heupel, and their thought is defenses have not caught up, but they will, whether it's 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, they will.
Right. And the belief is that 2023 exposed some flaws with Josh Heupel that could work against him. Those flaws, while they probably exist with Kalen DeBoer, have not been exposed yet. And Kalen DeBoer, to this point, has accomplished more than Josh Heupel has as a head coach.
Kalen DeBoer has accomplished more. But, okay, if you had to bet a mortgage payment right now, we're all going to say Kalen DeBoer is more likely to win a championship since he's played in the national championship game than Heupel.
And he's coaching at a program that has won how many over the past 17
yes,
years?
You would have to bet that. However, I'll tell you this. I wouldn't necessarily bet on Tennessee, but I wouldn't take the bet because it's close enough where I wouldn't want to lose my money either way. Adam has a great line. Alabama is the woman you should love. Tennessee is the girl you can't resist because we're new and exotic. The last half of that's true. Alabama is the woman you should love right after she got out of the psych ward. She's changed a little bit. She's not the same person she used to be.
Right after she got out of the psych ward.
She's a little paranoid. She's a little different. Am I wrong, Caleb? This is not the same Alabama.
So I'm not saying it isn't. It is the same Alabama, but like the same Alabama, Dave, is in a stratosphere. So like, okay, if Tennessee is on Earth, Alabama is the moon. Well, okay, Alabama may not be the moon anymore, but they're still like above the atmosphere. So I mean, it's not the same Alabama, but Alabama taking this drop off is still, as a program, as of right now, in terms of everything going in. I'm not saying it will be this way forever. Heck, we're going to talk about this later in the week. I'm not saying it's even going to be this way by the end of this year. Maybe not even by the end of September. But as of right now, Alabama is way higher up than Tennessee.
Not way higher. I will say Alabama. How about this analogy? Alabama's New York City. Tennessee's LA. New York City's a little bigger, a little more financially backed, but LA's pretty damn good, right?
Okay, Alabama. Wait, you have. We're doing this analogy.
Well, I got lost on your moon analogy.
During the Nick Saban years, Alabama was New York City, Tennessee was Knoxville in terms of size.
Okay, agreed. Now
Alabama's Chicago, and Tennessee is, I would say, Nashville, which is significantly less populated than Chicago, but more populated than Knoxville.
For some reason, I can kind of roll with that. I don't know exactly why.